Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris Orme and today we're back once again with some more franchise hockey manager. So, things to note, I have got copyright issues on a couple of my videos at this point. I've taken one down, I have had one returned to me, and there's currently one ongoing dispute. So if you do see any videos that go up and they disappear, they're probably going to be on private, like the one is at the moment that's currently in dispute. I'm hoping to get that cleared up in the next couple of weeks. So we're going to find out. The copyright claims have no basis, so you know, if they do get taken down or anything, I'll re-upload them without the bit that's being claimed, which is basically the intro plus a little bit of the start of the video. So we'll go for what we can go for. But today we're going to catch up on what's happened. I did do another video in this series which had to be taken down. So we're just going to round up now from the, I believe it was February. It was at the All-Star game, if I believe things are right. So All-Star game until now, I think we beat the Devils 5-1, I want to say. We were up against Winnipeg next, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. There we go. So February 5th, New Jersey Devils just beat the Avalanche. I think that's where we left off the video. So you can see we did lose to the Jets, and luckily we started putting on some great performances there. 6-1 over New Jersey, 3-0 over the Mapes. So, you know, we played quite well. 7-2 win against Ottawa. There's a big 6-0 over Winnipeg there. And then another clean sheet, back-to-back clean sheets, with a win over Edmonton, a big win over San Jose, and then another clean sheet. That run of 4 games is about as good as I've ever got in any hockey game. So 6-0, 3-0, 6-2, and then a 1-0 win over St. Louis. All of them pretty good. Coming into the stretch, we lost to the Panthers, but we did pick up wins against the Blues and Wild. We narrowly beat the Ducks before ending with 2 regular season losses. The Flames and Coyotes actually beat us at the end. So that pairs us up with the Minnesota Wild, something that was a race for the final playoff place in real life this season. The Wild are a good team, but they're not a great team. You can see goaltending decent, defense decent, left wingers, they got a couple of nice players on there. They got 1 center, and then on the right wing, need to write there, Palmerville, there's 2 that you need to watch out for. Potentially, they're not going to get much better. Eriksson Ek is a player who can develop. Labbe is not too far off the player he's supposed to be in. All their other players are in their prime. So, they're not a big-time team, but they are a team in their prime. And you look there at Suter, and you look at Dubnyk and Parise, and especially Palmerville. This is very much a win-now strategy for the Wild. They got 40 regular season wins. Luckily, only Suter and Zucker really kicked on for them during the season. So I'm fairly happy with our chances. To be fair, I think after our regular season, there's no reason not to be. So we will be going up against the Wild, but let's just look at the league in total. You can see down the bottom, Edmonton again finishing down the bottom. They're going to get a good draft pick this season. I think we have something to do with them this season on draft picks. The Blue Jackets, I think we have theirs first and or second. I can't remember. Stars, Canucks. So there's a few bits going on there. But we might be able to get a high draft pick or 2 out of this. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't not try and corner the draft. I think it's a little too easy to do on the game. I think for the next version there needs to be a little balancing there to make it a lot harder to get first round picks, especially. Second round picks, I mean, you can pick up for a second round pick for a third line, maybe fourth line player as well, especially on a team like mine. It's a bit too easy to stack the roster, and it's a bit too easy to trade for first, second, third round draft picks. So maybe there's a slight balancing issue there. You can see Detroit and New York go head to head, and Tampa Bay, Ottawa, that should be a Tampa Bay win. I quite fancy the Rangers actually on this side. I don't know how good the Red Wings really are at the moment, but Rangers did well last year, so I figure that's going to be the team to beat over this side of the bracket, basically. And you got Washington, Carolina. I think that's going to be a good matchup. Ovechkin should be able to get something done, and Backstrom as well. And then the Islanders versus Pittsburgh, another great series. I can't really pick that one. Sidney Crosby was missing for the playoffs last year, I believe, and Pittsburgh exited in round one. In real life, they've just won the Stanley Cup, so it's all on the Islanders now to prove that they are a good team, and they've got some good players. But I think Pittsburgh, Washington, Tampa Bay, and the game's going to say Detroit. I say New York Rangers there. That's what I'm going for. On our side of things, though, Anaheim, San Jose, that's a tough matchup, but the Ducks should go through. LA, St. Louis, that's a tough matchup as well. I don't know who to pick there. Traditionally, I would say the Kings, but the St. Louis Blues have a good lineup, and that's going to be a tough one. Winnipeg, having a phenomenal season after last season down in the doldrums, but they're going up against the Blackhawks, who decimated us and the league in regular season last year. So again, I feel that's a tough one. Ourselves versus Minnesota, I can only go for ourselves. Stats-wise, let's have a quick look over the season stats for teams and players. And as we can see here, goals 48 for Ovechkin. Not quite a 50-goal season, but he came close. Stamkos, Malkin, Camilleri, good season there for New Jersey. Part of the reason why they started to do better, I think, at the end of the season. Stone as well, that's a good total for him. Pacioretty, Tarasenko, Stahl, Ben, Zucker, Duchesne down there on 35. Assists-wise, Sidney Crosby, the leader here. 75 assists in 82 games. Absolutely phenomenal seasons there. He really did step up. Matt Duchesne, though, 62, fantastic. Carlson on 61, Ekman Larsson on 59. And then down to Landy. Schwartz, Couture, Hedman, Kopitar, Carlson, and Getzlaff. Not too many surprises there. Landeskog, I think, stepped up this season. Duchesne certainly did. He's only behind Sidney Crosby. Now, Crosby, 108 points in a season. Phenomenal. Sid the Kid is back after his injury last season. Duchesne, 97. This is the first time we've seen Matt actually step up at all. So, yeah, if I look at career stats, you can see this season with 97, he did jump up to 86 last year when we had a good season. But the season before that, in real life, 55, he had 70 and 71 games. Sort of there. That's, you know, that's a decent amount for a player like Matt Duchesne. Point per game player. Point per game last season. And then he went above and beyond this season. He actually played worse this season than he did last, according to the game engine. But I just think Matt Duchesne is starting to turn into a top player in this league. Really, after this season, I would say Ovechkin, Crosby, and then Duchesne. Those are your front three sort of forwards in this entire league. Shots, Ovechkin, Crosby, Kane there. Duchesne not too far away. Lee, I don't know too well. He seemed to have a good number of shots there. All the others are usual names. Jeff Skinner stepping up. Surprised he's only a 4-star player. I rate Jeff Skinner a lot as a goal scorer. So I would expect him to be a little higher. Plus minus, we decimate here. You can see our front line of McKinnon, Landeskog, and Duchesne is up there. Then you got Trouba and Pietrangelo, our first line defensemen, are up there. Gorisby here is an extra, as is Goodbranson. I think they're third liners though. They're third line defensemen. So Steen, Hedman, Carlson, and Tarasenko as well. Good little production. And that's why I say the St. Louis Blues, you cannot sleep on the St. Louis Blues. They've got 2 players up there in big sort of numbers for plus minus. Face-offs, nothing really to write home about. We do have Duchesne up there. Paquette winning that one. Aduya wins shots blocked when nowhere near. Penalty minutes is DiMaggio. Former Av Cody McLeod there, 130 penalty minutes. He does like the fight. You got Marchand and Kane in there, Roussel as well. Some big name players having big fights. Power play goals, 20 power play goals for Malkin. Kopitar, Stone, Tarasenko on 18. Brandon Saad is with us and he's got 13 on the season. And short-handed goals, Duchesne again getting the production. Ovechkin there with 2. I mean, not too many people get multiple short-handed goals, so to grab 4 in a season, the only man to do so, is really impressive. Wins Corey Schneider with an outrageous record. Goals against average, Schneider dips below 185. That is a phenomenal season. I know the team puts a lot of work in, but Schneider, I feel, more than anyone, I think Schneider and possibly Ryan O'Reilly are the 2 best trades that I've done. Bringing Ryan home and getting Corey Schneider, I think, is 2 sort of key points of this team. I think Pietrangelo will be the 3rd one, which was big. Everyone else isn't doing too much, I wouldn't say. One thing to note this year, though, goes against Calvin Pickard. Now, Calvin only played 30 games, but he won 17 of them. 9.3 save percentage. Oh, sorry, 0.93 save percentage. 229 goals against a game. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm glad to see that because I like Calvin Pickard in real life. In game, he doesn't seem to be highly rated, but he looks like a quality backup there who put the work in. Saves, Schneider's 8th. Save percentage, Pickard wins, but Schneider out of the starters is... Well, Mrazek's a starter. He only played 61 games, but... he's 3rd, 925, 924, 923. Absolutely fantastic there. Shutouts on the season, he got 10. That's 1 less than Vasilevsky. Games played, he didn't miss a game. Other people did. And time on ice, of course, he gets there. Very quickly, goals per game, Avs with 3.82. Goals against a game, 1.87 for the Avs. Shots per game, 41.57. Shots against per game, 24.02. Face-offs, we're not topping. We're down to 10th in 50.8. We block the least amount of shots. We throw the 7th amount of hits. We take the puck away for... No, there's only 3 teams better taking the puck away than us. The Stars have some big numbers there, up to near 650. And giveaways, well, we're still guilty of that, but it hasn't affected us. Injury days, we are exactly mid-table, in fact. We're 16th on 200 injury days. The Flames actually up to 343. They had a terrible time with injuries. And Edmonton, despite finishing bottom of the pile, have no excuses. 98 injury days. They just couldn't get it done. Most penalties go to Boston. We're second least. Power play percentage, we're number 1. Penalty kill, we're number 1. So, that's the state of the league and the Avalanche. Transactions since February the 5th. Why are we on the Wild? We've got the Avs there. It should still be the Avs, shouldn't it? And I also want to take us to the news. 1 second. So the Oilers didn't have a great season at all. We did get a trade done here. You can see Sidlowski and Miller went out on the right wing. I felt Miller would offer enough offense, and Sidlowski's a good all-rounder, so they'll produce for Edmonton, lift them out of that funk a little bit. We traded away 9th overall pick last season, Chad Kreese. I think I made the wrong selection there, and so we offload him. We've got better prospects in defense that are a lot more ready as well. He's a decent player. I just don't believe he's going to be as good as I'd hoped. So we also traded away Winnipeg's 2nd round pick because that was almost worthless. They were finished 3rd in the league, I believe. And our 4th round pick, which I wasn't going to trade away, but we needed to make it go through. In fact, Chad Kreese was only added with the 4th to make this deal go through, because I was trading for Nail Yakupov, who, good little player. I don't think Miller is too far behind him. Trading away both those on a second I felt would get me Nail Yakupov, and it did. So I went after their 2nd round pick, and I couldn't get it. So I traded up for their 1st round pick, added in the 4th and Kreese, and that actually put us over the top somehow. They really rate Chad Kreese. So we could have a shot at the number 1 overall pick. We've got Nail Yakupov as well. And as we did that deal, I decided, let's quickly tie up his contract. He was on his final year, so 6.15 over 3 years, I believe. It is over 3, isn't it? Or is it another 2 years? Yeah, so it's $3 million a season on 2 years. So Yakupov should be a key member of this team, and we'll renegotiate in a couple of years' time when he's full in potential. And I wanted someone for that second line right wing. I know we were thinking Gergensons, but Yakupov is definitely an upgrade there. So we did that deal, and then we did more deals. We did a lot of deals, because I decided, let's get some stuff done. Winnipeg having a good season. Kyle Connor, 5-star potential. I wanted him. Heinen, we're big on. I think he's a really, really good player, all-rounder. But Connor's got a little bit more potential and physical right now. I just felt out of the two of them, he's a year younger, he's a year better. We don't need someone just yet, so he can sit for another year. We picked up 2/3. We had to trade away 5th, 6th, 7th to make it go through, along with our 1st round pick. So Winnipeg is getting something back there. I think that's a pretty fair deal. We went over to Columbus as well. We traded away 18 and 19's 3rd round picks plus Winnipeg's 3rd round this year, and we picked up the rights to Zach Werenski. Now, another 5-star potential youngsters. I'm not trusting in the draft after Chad Kreese didn't pan out, and I'm not sure about the goaltender. Puljajavi's a no-brainer. So unless you're in the top 5, top 10 picks, it can be a little bit of a lottery. So I decided to go after someone we really scouted and is outside the draft. So Werenski comes in. I think he's another phenomenal youngster that we can just set forth into the lineup next season or the season after when we get those cap issues. So we've got a good centre for depth and a good right defenseman, so we can really play with that cap next season if we need to. So yeah, Kyle Connor, Zach Werenski come in, Yakupov comes in that trade. We trade away a 2nd round pick in 19 plus the other Winnipeg pick, the 3rd round pick, and that managed to get us Vancouver's 1st this year. So we're really stacking this year. We are really stacking this year. And then finally Dallas. I wanted to get one or the other. I ended up going for both. So it's our 2nd in 2018 and Columbus's 3rd this year. and we managed to get Dallas's first pick. So we got Dallas and Vancouver's first this year. We've got we got the Oilers as well. So Edmonton, Vancouver and Dallas, we've got their first this season. A lot of other picks have been traded away. We had a good season, a good time in the league. 67, 11 and 4. So let's go and see what else actually got done. So where is February? Yeah, that was about it, guys. I don't know why all the trades aren't here. We just saw the news items for all the trades, but we don't see... I think this is the only player trade, wasn't it? All the rest were draft picks, so that's probably why. But it would be nice to see just the pick-for-pick trades as well. So yeah, nothing really to show on that screen. This is our roster. We've got Schneider in net. Actually, let's go here. You can see Duchesne is the best player. Schneider then. We've got McKinnon, Landeskog, Pietrangelo, Saad, O'Reilly, Orlov, and Trouba, which is very good depth. Then we got Bodka, Gostisby here, Gergensons, Jakubov, Barry, Hansel, Lowry, and Yaskin as above average players. Average for the league of Branson, Bigras, and Cadilles. We got Binnington here as a young goaltender to develop. Potentially, good Branson, Cadilles, Lowry, Hansel. That's basically a third line defenseman and our fourth line in total. Hansel's the only unhappy player. He wants more ice time. I've balanced everybody else's out. So Hansel, 30 years of age, not going to develop. In fact, he's going to start regressing, not playing well. I'm quite happy to trade him at the draft, more than likely. So I think in terms of age, we're pretty good. In terms of ability, we are pretty good. Potentially, we look up at Schneider. He's going to, he's already at his peak. Duchesne's at his peak. McKinnon's going to be another superstar. And when we look at the guys we've got protected now, Gustafsson, Terry, 4.5 stars. Werenski, corner, Poljajavi, winger, defenseman, centre. We've really got the future of this team tied up, as well as 3 possible top 5 picks in this upcoming draft. This is the season we get the youth sorted, because I do worry about some of these wages. I know a couple of them are going up. Luckily, we don't have anyone's contract running out this season. But, yeah, we're going to need to do something. And O'Reilly is expensive, but can we afford to trade him? He's good offensively, but he's great defensively. He's power play. He's, he should have a beard. Why does he have a beard? Show beard style. At least give him a goatee. There you go. Might be a little bit more like Ryan O'Reilly. Or how I remember him anyway. So, I don't know if we need to trade O'Reilly away, push Gergensons up into that second line spot. Can we afford to do that? Is Gergensons good enough? Do we bring Poljajavi on behind Yakupov on that right-hand side as a 1-2 punch on the first-second line, and put McKinnon back as a second-line centre behind Matt Duchesne, leave Gergensons where he is? Is that something we do if we want to trade out O'Reilly? Have your say. We do want to know what you want to say about this team. We are outrageously stacked at the moment. And right wing, Spears could be traded. He's a decent young player. If Yaskin's going out and Poljajavi's coming in, If McKinnon dropped out as well, we'd have, Yakupov, Poljajavi, Yaskin and Spears as 4 right wingers we could go to. So O'Reilly's out. That would mean Duchesne, McKinnon, Gergensons, Lowry. And we still got Connor and Terry who can come in there. We haven't got any backup on this side. But we could work it. We could work it. So I'm very happy though with the lineup we've got on the left. Landeskog, Saad, Bodka and Kurt Deals is a perfect 4 for me. I really like them. They're only 4-star as well, which means you don't need superstars. I'm upset that Landeskog's only a 4-star. I'd say he's 4.5 in real life. But if a 4-star player is this good and a 3-star player is average, I know the developers are looking at this, and it's because it's worldwide ability. So, some leagues the average is going to be 1-star, some leagues it's going to be higher. For a starter in the NHL, it's 3-star because it's that high profile a league. But to only go between 3 and 5 stars here is a little sort of interesting. All the players mesh together. You get far too many of the similar kind of players. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they sort of review that and what they implement for the next version of the game to actually get forward. Because iteration by iteration, this game, from the first to this iteration of the game, I think it is a massive leap forward. We don't need to go as big in the next game to make some real ground and be really impressive. So, I'm really hoping that this is one of the few things that they tighten up. Trading a little tighter. Drafting, I think, is okay. The games themselves seem to be okay. Don't think we need too much more there. News items and that sort of thing, we need a bit more variation, I believe. But this star rating is probably the biggest bugbear I've got with the game at the moment. But 4-star and above, if they are like very good players, we could have a 4-star player everywhere. Then we can see from Milok all the way up as 3 goaltenders that we've got. It's 4 left defensemen, I believe 4 right defensemen. It's 5 right wingers. It's 2 left wingers. And it's 5 centers. So it's enough there to put out an entire team of 4-star and above players. Yeah, and Johns is just for depth. So Johns is down in the Rampage, who didn't have a good season. We got Bigras, who's up with us. Everyone else, I believe, is on youth deals. So we don't need to worry about that. What's this going to? Transactions? Are we reloading the transaction page? That's silly. So our lines, you can see not too much has changed. That second line has got better though. Saad, O'Reilly, Yakupov, I think is pretty fantastic. The third line with Hansel sitting there, he might be replaced in the off-season. Gergensons might, or O'Reilly might, and probably 2 players out of this 12 are definitely going to be changed. Or switched around at least with development. The 6th defenseman I'm really happy with. I don't want to make changes. But this is kind of what got us through the season, got us first power play, got us first in penalty kill, won us the President's Trophy and got us to this point in the playoffs. So, if there's anything else, guys, let me know what you want to see, how you want to see it, what trades you want to see me make, and if there's anyone in the draft class as a whole that we should be going for, let me know. These are the scouted players with their ratings, so let me know. I think Patrick is going to be the first overall pick. He should be. If I have first overall, I'm really tempted with Nolan Patrick. 15 hockey sense, 6 potential. That stayed at 6 or 5.5 when I was at an A on him. We haven't scouted that in a little while. But he looks ready to play now. He's professional. there's a lot to like about him. The other one I was tempted with is Lil Jagrin, who looks pretty decent for the future. He isn't quite ready yet, though. I wouldn't want to take him first overall. So if there are any other names here, guys, have your say. These are all the 5-star. You can pause the video and look if you want. But those are the 5 stars. A few E's there which do need to be sort of done, especially the Eastern European Scandinavians, I believe. And some 4.5. So if there's any names in there that you do recognise, and you've got the scout report level on the far side as well, on the right hand side. So you can kind of let me know who do you think is worthy of one of our first round picks. Not sure if any goaltenders were in there. So best goalies in this draft are Berglund with a 5-star potential. Not really scouted him at all. Where's he? Sweden. I really need to get Sweden scouted as much as I can in the playoffs, I guess. There are a couple others as well. You got Scott there and Rasmussen. Also a bunch of 4 stars, which, you know, might be okay. Lassi Lehtinen, Michael DePetro, Josef Kaska, Nilo Halonen, Derek Barabo, Matthew Welsh, Martin Tichy, Dayton Rasmussen, Ian Scott, and Adam Berglund. So, who do you think we should go for? Have your say as well at Chris Army over on Twitter, or here on YouTube. Just head down to the comment section. Links in the description, so you can just tweet me or say here, who are we going after? Ryan O'Reilly, do we need to keep him with that big contract, even though that contract is coming down? Does he fit on the team? Should we look other places to open up spots? Where's Paul Jajavi going to play? Who are we drafting? You know, the players we've traded for as well. No, we got a brand new centre and right defenseman prospect. I mean, where do those guys go? How do we get them in the team? Does Paul Jajavi need to be on this team? Third in our depth chart. Is Spears a trade prospect? Does Gudbranson go out for Vrensky? Does Connor come in and we trade Gergensons or O'Reilly? Does McKinnon go back in? So many different things I'm thinking of. I don't know how we're going to do it. I really don't know how we're going to do it. So, there we go. Oh, we've actually got the draft picks here. That's awesome. I didn't know it was in here. So, depth chart. So we've got Dallas, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Columbus this year. So Dallas, Vancouver, Edmonton, and Columbus. We've got the bottom 4. Doesn't that guarantee us? No, it doesn't guarantee us anything, does it? Because I think the top 3 are anyone that missed the playoffs. So what would that be? Rangers, Maple Leafs. Yeah, Predators, I think, missed out in the playoffs, and the Rangers made it in. So I think any of these 3 teams could jump our entire 4. So at worst, we'll have picks number 4, 5, 6, and 7 in the draft. And that's it. We're done. I've really mortgaged the future to get there. We've got our first in 2018 and 2019. I'm thinking Blake Spears and our first might get us a pair of seconds and a pair of thirds. Maybe Johns and Big Grass if we want to flip those, or Binnington. You know, O'Reilly can get us a first round pick and something else probably if we were to do the right package deal. Maybe for next season and 2019. So I don't know. I want to keep going for first round picks, maybe second at the outside, because I just don't think the game has any depth, and I'm not really wanting to mortgage our chances by picking depth picks. Not if the game hasn't got them. So let me know what your feelings on all this is. Get back to me, and we will be back to you very soon with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 2 where we start the playoffs against the Minnesota Wild. Here, second season, President's Trophy in hand. Big future, big decisions to make, but our one goal of the Stanley Cup, our third Stanley Cup, it's there, boys. It's right there waiting for us. And we've got the lineup to do it. We've got the talent, we've got the overall record, and we're just getting better and better. So, until then, guys, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you come back for Game 1 against Minnesota. And until then, I've been Chris Army. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Sandwiches, the big thing for me. Missing a lot of shots. Brian O'Reilly now goes into the penalty box. Too many penalties. It's not costing us, but it's too many penalties.